This is one of the most unpredictable times I can think of for Nintendo. One thing I've always been decent at is predictions, but I have to say lately I'm struggling a bit. Everything from strange recent announcements, next-gen rumors swirling harder than ever, and the company being at a pivotal crossroads after massive success in the Switch era, it's truly difficult to predict anything right now. Even still, I'll give it my best shot. I believe we'll get a September Nintendo Direct announced within the next few weeks, and here are the games I think we'll see. The Direct will open with the DK faithful all breathing a collective sigh of relief. The long-awaited next entry in the Donkey Kong Country series will be revealed for Nintendo Switch. This will be a tried-and-true DKC platformer developed by Retro Studios, and the natural follow-up to 2014's Tropical Freeze. The game will be absolutely stunning, with lush environmental backdrops and all main characters getting a redesign. Playable characters will include Donkey Kong, and for the first time ever, an enemy-turned-friend, King K. Rool, who will need to team up with the Kongs to defeat his own army's plans to overthrow him. K. Rool will be able to use his propeller for platforming, and both Diddy and Dixie Kong will return as partner characters. Donkey Kong Country Kremling's Clash will be released in March of 2024. Soon after, the Direct will head into a full gameplay reveal of Splatoon 3's long-awaited story DLC, Side Order. Most of Side Order's challenge levels will feature the monochrome black and white aesthetic we saw in the teaser. Part of our mission in the DLC will be to use our inking skills to bring the color back. Side Order will rival the Octo expansion in terms of scope and difficulty, arriving on Nintendo Switch at the end of September, making it a little over 1 year since the release of base game Splatoon 3. A little bit later in the presentation, we'll get one for the RPG fans, as a deluxe edition of Xenoblade Chronicles X, titled Xenoblade Chronicles X Redux, will be announced for Nintendo Switch. Redux will feature a handful of new, additional side quests adding references to newer games in the series like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3. The expanded side content will help tie in X more seamlessly to Grander Xeno as we look forward to the next game. This re-release on Switch will revive an impressive open-world RPG currently stuck on Wii U. Plus, it will bring renewed life to the online squads features, creating a brand new player base on modern hardware. One thing I've noticed about base game Pikmin 4 is that night mode is relatively light on content. On one hand, I sort of understand why, as it's a pretty simplistic game mode, but I do think there's more potential there, and Nintendo knows it. Pikmin 4's one and only DLC update will be an expansion to the nighttime missions, as Yanni will offer us several new expeditions to take on. Some will be extremely hard, as a handful of 5 flame difficulty missions will be added, and some of these will take place on all new maps. In addition to the night mode update, this DLC will come with one more added bonus. We'll also get a Louie side story based on Pikmin 2, in which we'll have to collect treasures to sell for 10,000 Pokos. Instead of having a day limit like in the Olimar side story, we'll explore Pikmin 2 themed areas and even some new caves that heavily reference ones from that game. At the end of our first look trailer, we'll get the news that Pikmin 4 Night Mode DLC will be available on Nintendo eShop later that day. The next big reveal of the Direct will be one that makes a lot of fans happy. Mr. Takahashi and Koizumi will announce that GameCube Games will be the next to hit the Nintendo Switch online service. A launch lineup will be revealed featuring games like Super Mario Sunshine, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, Pikmin, Luigi's Mansion, Kirby Air Ride, and Mario Kart Double Dash, the latter two being complete with 4-player online multiplayer. This GameCube NSO library will only be available for expansion pack members and will be released holiday 2023 to stand alongside Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the Pokemon DLC, and the Mario Kart and Animal Crossing bundles, providing a huge boost to hardware and subscription sales. Speaking of the Pokemon DLC, the presenter presenters will remind us that Part 1 of the paid expansion for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, the hidden treasure of Area Zero, the Teal Mask, is available now. They will also give us another sneak peek of Part 2, the Indigo Disc. This trailer will show off more obtainable starter Pokemon. It will tease Terrapagos' in-game location, and will reveal more areas of Blueberry Academy's underwater dome. To end it, we'll get our hotly anticipated release date, November 21st. This next prediction might be pushing it, but the last two Nintendo Directs had GameCube Remaster Shadow drops, so I'm sticking with the trend. I think we'll get our first new F-Zero release since the early 2000s, in the form of F-Zero GX HD. This will be a beautiful HD port of the high-speed GameCube racer, and it will include 4-player online multiplayer options. This release will come out at the lower price point we saw with Metroid Prime Remastered and the Pikmin 1+2 collection, and it will be available for download later that day. We'll also see new pre-release trailers for both WarioWare Move It and Super Mario RPG, reminding us of their quickly approaching release dates. Super Mario Bros. Wonder will not be present at this Direct, since it had its own dedicated presentation at the end of last month. Mario's hugely successful 2023 won't end here, however, because at the tail end of the presentation, we'll see the reveal of the Plumber's latest sports title, Mario Baseball Grand Slam. Grand Slam will play similarly to the beloved Mario Superstar Baseball on GameCube. It will also feature optional Joy-Con motion controls for batting and pitching, providing a callback to the Wii release Mario Super Sluggers. This new entry will add even more characters to the large rosters baseball games tend to have. New additions will include all the Koopalings and more recently featured characters like Charge and Chuck, Pauline, and Nabbit. Mario Baseball Grand Slam will arrive on Nintendo Switch early next year in February of 2024. And finally, at long last, we'll get a look at a game Nintendo fans have been anticipating for years now. The September Nintendo Direct will end with a One More Thing, which will be a first look and teaser for Metroid Prime 4. Prime 4 will follow in the footsteps of Metroid Prime Remastered, and will be one of the most impressive Nintendo Switch games, rivaling and maybe even surpassing that game's atmosphere and visuals. And maybe, just maybe, Metroid Prime 4 will be the premier cross-gen or next-gen enhanced title if the next Nintendo console is backwards compatible. That will be news for the future though, and won't be announced here in this Direct. So what do you think? At least at the time of recording this, the Direct is yet to be announced. But September is one of the safest months to predict a Nintendo Direct presentation, and I think confirmation is imminent. What would you like to see in a September Nintendo Direct? Let's start a discussion about it in the comments section down below. If you like these predictions and want more Nintendo content like this, consider subscribing to the channel, as we'll be talking Nintendo all the way up to and through the next Direct announcement. Fingers crossed for something soon, and thanks as always for watching.